Alright, our wintry mix is getting set to impact the valley tonight. Welcome back to Weather for Weather Geeks, even if you're not a weather geek. Hopefully you'll get some value out of this video. This is the area's most in-depth, nerdy, geeky weather video. We're going to take a deep dive into what to expect tonight in many different locations across our area. A little preview of the weekend, and I'll look ahead at next week's pattern as well. First things first, because we have all sorts of precipitation types in our forecast for tonight, just a quick reminder of what these different types of precipitation are. Freezing rain is just rain that freezes on contact when it hits a cold surface. It doesn't refreeze on the way down. It stays rain all the way until it hits something on the ground. Sleet is a little bit different. That's when raindrops refreeze on the way down in a deeper cold layer, a deeper below freezing layer. Raindrops don't refreeze into snowflakes, they refreeze into little ice pellets. That's what sleet is, and of course when the air column above our heads is completely below freezing, we see snowfall, and we're going to see a little bit of everything as we go through the night tonight. Look at the temperatures as of 7:17. Now in the northwestern part of Trumbull, up towards the Ashtabula line, it's a few degrees below freezing, but a lot of our TV viewing area is near or even still a little above freezing. Now, as the precipitation pushes in this evening, what we call the wet bulb effect will knock some of these temperatures down. The air is a little bit dry, and so as precipitation falls into that dry air, some of it evaporates. That has a cooling effect on the air. That evaporative cooling is what we call it. Will knock those temperatures back probably a few degrees as the precipitation gets underway this evening. So that was a look at air temperatures. What about road temperatures? We have a couple of bad readings here. We'll just ignore that. But as you can see, the road surface temperatures on a lot of our major highways are still mostly above freezing. The sun came out for a little while today in some parts of the area, and that strengthening February sun angle warmed up those road surface temperatures pretty nicely earlier on. I'm recording this at 7:18. Precipitation is knocking on the door. Now, some of this on the leading edge is not reaching the ground just yet, but you can kind of see where the battle lines are going to be drawn already for this evening. In the south, this is going to be mostly rain. Middle of our viewing area, a good mix for a while, probably changing to rain. And then in the far north, you see more blue approaching. You're going to see a little more snow and sleet in the north, but even in our northern areas, we're probably going to see raindrops before the evening is through. This is a radar loop. It's a real sloppy mess from Mount Vernon and out towards the northern suburbs of Columbus and heading up I-71 towards Mansfield. This wintry mix getting into the Canton and Akron areas. Seeing some heavy wet snowflakes up near Lorain and Berea and heading over towards Cleveland as well. All right, going ahead a few hours. And again, you saw kind of where the battle lines are likely to be drawn here. Notice the temperatures. Everyone's pretty close to 32 all evening. 31, 32, 33, that's going to be common all evening. And this isn't going to be like a couple weeks ago where we had a lot of freezing rain and a temperature of 27. When you have freezing rain and it's 31 or 32, that's that 4 or 5 degrees. That makes a big difference. Technically, it's freezing rain if you have 32 and rain, but you typically don't see that rain just freezing solid kind of instantly like when you have rain falling into air that's in the 20s. So that being said, we're not expecting huge impacts from freezing rain in a lot of areas tonight. And again, I think as we go deeper into the evening, into the overnight, temperatures are going to try to rise above that 32 degree mark in a lot of places. So here at midnight or so, 32 just about everywhere, maybe some 33s and even 34s starting to show up as we go through the overnight. That's going to change it just a cold, miserable rain. But as I said last night, rain in 34 is a lot better than rain in 29. Our far northern areas, you'll see a little more sleet up there, even some wet snow trying to hang on for a while. But even in our far northern areas, I'm not going to be shocked if we have raindrops from time to time overnight tonight. So therefore, the snow impacts will be pretty minimal. Coating to an inch, a slushy coating to an inch in a lot of the kind of 224 corridor on north. Now, once you're up far enough to the north, closer to the Geauga line, closer to the Ashtabula line, closer to the Crawford County line, just out of our TV viewing area, that's where you have a better chance of maybe seeing a couple or even a few slushy inches. But even if you get a couple of slushy inches this evening, some of it's probably going to be washed away overnight by some of the mixed precipitation that may work that far to the north. So I doubt a lot of people are going to get outside and measure 2 or 3 slushy inches in their communities tonight. It'll be kind of miserable to be outside, and it'll be in the process of being washed away overnight, and by the time we get up tomorrow morning, it is gone. So, freezing rain accretion we've pretty much removed southern Columbiana County from any big impacts from freezing rain. You could have 32 and rain for a little while, but that's not going to cause things to be super icy, except maybe the coldest surfaces. Maybe your car windshield will have a good glaze on it, railings, things like that. But as you work off to the north, you have a better chance of things getting a little bit slippery on untreated surfaces for a time. And then once you're up towards, say, Warren, Cortland, Yankee Lake, Sharon, heading over towards Transfer and Mercer, places like that, yes, you might get enough ice accretion to make those untreated surfaces pretty slick for a time this evening, with some snow in the mix as well. For Friday morning commuters, the big question is, how is this going to impact our Friday morning? The good news on the timing, a lot of the steadiest precipitation is going to be long gone by prime rush hour tomorrow morning. So sorry, kids. I'm not in the business of predicting what school districts are going to do, because I'm wrong on that way more often than I'm wrong on the weather. But that being said, with the kind of marginal temperature situation overnight and the fact that we're not going to have a bunch of freezing rain and snow falling at daybreak tomorrow, I don't think there'll be huge amounts of problems on the roads. As we go into the morning, our model here shows the possibility of some flurries. Also, there's going to be a possibility, I think, of maybe some freezing drizzle. We're losing what we call some of the ice nuclei a few thousand feet above our heads. So you might have some precipitation trying to fall, but there's no nuclei for snowflakes to kind of form on. They need little microscopic things to form onto. If you don't have that, then even though it's below freezing, you can get little misty raindrops surviving all the way to the ground. And with temperatures around 30-ish, maybe we have a little freezing drizzle in the morning. I don't have high confidence on that, but it's something that can't be ruled out. Most of the day just cloudy, maybe a stray evening flurry then for a Friday evening. Pretty quiet weather as we kick off the weekend. We'll have a mix of sun and clouds on Saturday. Temperatures will be on the chilly side. A bright and sunny start to Sunday, and this next cold front approaching from the north might produce a couple of flurries before Sunday afternoon is through. So the colder half of the weekend, Saturday, 33. Be down in the 20 Saturday night, maybe teens Saturday morning, 20 Saturday night, back up to 39 Sunday. A couple of flurries in the afternoon, but no big impactful weather systems over the weekend or early next week. And speaking of next week, the overall jet stream pattern here, by midweek, we've got a pretty decent ridge in the west and some troughing in the east, so this is going to prevent it from getting very mild, but it's not going to be that bad middle of the week. But then as we go towards that first weekend of March, notice this ridge out west. Pay attention to how it kind of disappears as we head towards next weekend, the first weekend of March, and the west is under a trough. So when we have a trough out west, typically downstream of that, we have a ridge. I think it's going to warm up pretty nicely for a couple of days anyway. Towards the very end of next weekend into next weekend, I think we've got some 50s on our way for daytime highs. And overall, next week, we probably are going to break our streak of one impactful winter storm a week. We've been kind of in that mode now for a while. I think we're going to break that next week. Maybe we just get a couple of clippers that bring a couple of flurries, but I see nothing on the modeling to suggest any sort of big impactful winter storms next week. Get a chance to breathe. I'll take it. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks tonight on this Thursday. I'll have more updates on social media and on 21 News at 11. Get the forecast anytime on the Storm Tracker 21 app. I'll see you back here on Friday.